Australians don't just love property, we're obsessed.
Owning your own home is very much part of the Australian way of life.
Our love of property is as quintessentially Aussie as fairy bread, kangaroos and backyard cricket. It dominates every barbecue combo, every news headline, and I hate to break it to you footy, but it might just be the national sport. But where did the idea of the great Australian dream come from? And when did it reach a fever pitch? Hey Margaret.
Hello.
Tell me, you're a historian.
Yes.
When did Australians start becoming obsessed with owning a home?
I think we've been obsessed with owning a home ever since the British settlers colonised Australia in 1788. British always rewarded people with land. As soon as the first settlers arrived, they were given land packages. And when you were granted freedom from being a convict, you were also given land.
Yep.
And once you had your own property, you could vote. Until then, you couldn't do that. So I think it's really deeply rooted that we have power and position and wealth because we own property. It's really deeply entrenched here. It's the house and the backyard and the barbecue and home and away, neighbours. So I think it's very much attached to our sense of Australian identity.
Aussie's love of property has been over a century in the making, and according to a recent poll, over 3/4 of non-homeowners want to purchase property in the future. And I can't think of a better way to find out why we can't let go of the Australian dream than by chatting to a couple who have found theirs. I love this house. Is this your Australian dream?
I think so, yeah.
We'd always thought about a house on the river. We really liked the area, we liked the idea of being near the water.
The more we become part of the community, the more we feel like we can be here long term. It's a great place to live. We love it here.
It's perfect.
The love Aussies have for property is strong, for sure. But communities don't just spring up out of nowhere. It takes a vision to pull all this off. And I'm going to find out how on earth they do it. So Cameron, you work for Fraser's Property, a company that has arguably had the most influence in shaping Australian homes and communities over the past 100 years, which is huge. Do you think we've reached a fever pitch in our love of property?
I'd love to say we have, but I honestly don't think so.
No?
No, I don't. Look, if anything, in my last 25 years in the property industry, I've seen it grow and grow. So I don't see it slowing down anytime soon.
So how has Fraser's kept up with the property demand?
Look, Fraser's has just had to continue evolving its approach. I think the interesting thing about property over the last 100 years has been a lot of events. You know, you've had wars, you've had economic situations, but we've just kept evolving, listening to our customers. And the one thing that I've found is community and people wanting to be part of a community has remained really, really important.
Yeah. And the things that make a community has remained important, hasn't it?
Exactly right.
Transport, schools, that sort of thing.
Conveniences. People are really busy today, so they want the modern conveniences, they want things at their doorstep, and it's trying to encapsulate all of that, get it at a good price point so people can actually afford it, and then put some really good features in, so when they drive in they go, oh, it feels great to live here.
Property fever doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. Australia's desire to own their own homes, their castle, is as strong as ever. And I'm not going to lie, I think I could be quite happy right here.